COVID WHO scheme, COVID delivers first vaccines.
Ghana
has become the first country to receive coronavirus vaccines through the COVID Vaccine Sharing Initiative. The World Health Organization program aims to ensure that vaccines are shared fairly among all nations. COVAX is aiming to deliver about 2 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines globally by the end of the year. Many rich nations who began their own vaccinations months ago have faced criticism for buying or ordering more vaccines than they need. A total of 600,000 doses of the vaccine developed by AZ and Oxford University and produced by the Serum Institute of India arrived in Ghana's capital on Wednesday. Vaccinations are expected to start there next week, with prioritized groups such as health workers, people over 60, people with underlying health conditions, and senior officials. In a joint statement, the WHO and the United Nations Children's Fund said it was a momentous occasion and critical in bringing the pandemic to an end. The West African country, with a population of 30 million, has recorded more than 80,700 cases of coronavirus and 580 deaths since the pandemic began. These numbers are believed to fall short of the actual toll because of no levels of testing. Though the vaccines are not generally intended for children, Yu is involved in the scheme because of its expertise in procurement and the logistics of vaccine delivery. It told the BBC that Ghana was one of the countries selected to receive the first batch of vaccine doses, as it met the conditions President conditions precedent for receiving the vaccine. What is COVID so far? Which countries have been able to buy for more so far? Which countries have been able to buy far more COVID jabs than poor ones? The countries participating in the COVID-19 vaccine WHO-backed COVID Alliance, Ghana and Ivory Coast, are the first to start vaccinating. The COVID scheme was set up by the WHO, the Global Vaccines Alliance, and the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations to try to prevent poorer countries from being pushed to the back of the queue. The program is designed so that rich countries buying vaccines agree to help finance access for poorer nations too. It hopes to deliver more than 2 billion doses to people in 190 countries in less than a year. In particular, it wants to ensure 92 poorer countries will receive access to vaccines at the same time as 98 wealthier wealthier country.
Wealthier
countries. It aims to reach up to 20% of the populations of poorer countries at no cost to their governments. Most African countries are intended recipients of COVAX, but a number of them, like us, have been making provisions for vaccines outside the initiative. The scheme has so far raised 6 billion, but says it needs at least another 2 billion to meet its target for 2021. COVAX has faced some criticism for not moving quickly enough. One WHO board member, Dr. C. Martin said it had been slow to secure vaccine deals and deliver doses. The joint statement on Wednesday said the shipments to Ghana represented the beginning of what should be the largest vaccine procurement and supply operation in history.
Procurement.
Over ordering of coronavirus vaccines. Some areas have ordered enough to vaccinate their population many times over, even taking into account single and double dose vaccines.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell offers to give up UK and French citizenship for bail.
Bail. British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell.
British socialist Ghislaine Maxwell has offered to give up her UK and French citizenship in exchange for bail. Ms. Maxwell is accused of helping the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein groom young girls, which she denies. She is due to stand trial in July. Jeffrey
Epstein.
In a court hearing, her lawyer said she had no desire to leave the U.S. She would be willing to renounce her foreign citizenship to eliminate any. She would be willing to renounce her foreign citizenship to eliminate any opportunity for her to seek refuge in those countries, the filing added. Her lawyer also proposed that her and her husband's assets be placed in a monitored account to prevent her being able to use the money to leave the country. Miss Maxwell has been in jail in New York since she was arrested last July at her
secluded
mansion in the state of New Hampshire. This is her third application for bail. After two previous attempts were unsuccessful. In her last bid for bail in December, her lawyers proposed that she be allowed to return home with armed guards to prevent her from escaping. Prosecutor Stan said there was a risk that, if bailed, Miss Maxwell could use her wealth to flee to France or the UK, where she is a citizen, and suggested she might try to avoid extradition. Who is Gracelyn Maxwell? Miss Maxwell, the daughter of media mogul Robert Maxwell was in a relationship with financier Jeffrey Epstein in the 1990s. She allegedly introduced Epstein to wealthy and powerful figures including Bill Clinton and the Duke of York, Prince Andrew of the British royal family. Aston took his own life in prison in August 2019 as he awaited trial on sex trafficking charges more than a decade after he was convicted for soliciting prostitution from a minor. Four of the charges against Ms. Maxwell relate to the years between 1994 and 1997, when prosecutors say she helped Epstein groom girls as young as 14. The other two charges are allegations of perjury in 2016. She faced up to 35 years in prison if convicted in her trial in July. Tyler Court orders man to pay wife for housework in Myanmar case. A Beijing divorce court has ordered the man to compensate his wife for the housework she did during her marriage in a landmark ruling. Compensate compensate. The woman will receive 50,000 yuan. Yuan. Compensate. Divorced. A Beijing divorce court has ordered a man to compensate his wife for the housework she did during her marriage in a landmark ruling. The woman will receive 50,000 yuan for 5 years of unpaid labor. The case has generated a huge debate online over the value of domestic work, with some saying the compensation amount was too little. The ruling comes after China's introduction of a new civil code. According to court records, the man, identified by his jewel lamp chain, had filed for the divorce last year from his wife. Sure Lam won. After getting married in 2015, she was reluctant to divorce at first, but later requested financial compensation, arguing that Chen had lost shouldered any housework or childcare responsibilities for their son. Beijing's district court ruled in her favor, ordering him to pay her monthly alimony of 2,000 yuan, as well as the one-off payment of 50,000 yuan for the housework she has done. The presiding judge told reporters on Monday that the division of a couple's joint property after marriage usually entails splitting tangible property, but housework constitutes intangible property value, said the judge. The ruling was made according to the new civil code in the country, which came into effect this year. Under the new law, a spouse is entitled to seek compensation in a divorce if he or she bears more responsibility in child raising, caring for elderly relatives, and assisting partners in their work. Previously, divorcing spouse could only request such compensation if the prenuptial agreement had been signed, an uncommon practice in China. On social media, the case sparked heated debate, with a related hashtag on microblogging platform Weibo viewed more than 570 million times. Some social media users pointed out that 50,000 yuan for 5 years of work was too little. I'm a bit speechless. The work of a full-time housewife is being underestimated. In Beijing, hiring a nanny for a year costs more than 50,000 yuan. said one commenter. Others pointed out that men should assume more household duties in the first place. Some also called on women to continue pursuing their careers after marriage. Ladies, remember to always be independent. Don't give up work after marriage. Give yourself your own way out. Wrote one social media user. COVID could set women's equality back 25 years. According to the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, Chinese women spend nearly 4 hours a day on unpaid work, roughly 2.5 times that of men. It is higher than the average in OECD countries, where women spend twice the amount of time as men on unpaid work. Two women in the UK share their stories of juggling senior jobs with unpaid caring responsibility.
Juggling.
Story of struggling senior jobs with unpaid caring responsibility.